Well, for the time being, let's shift focus to Hindalco. It reported a good set of numbers. The total India as well as the copper business put it together. Well, it beat our estimates by a goodish margin. To discuss this and more, we have Mr. Satish Pai, the MD of Hindalco, who joins us. Well, Mr. Pai, thanks a lot for joining in. Aluminium prices, well, they have seen a big surge. But what is sustainable with regard to a per-ton basis? What are you factoring in?
In the last couple of weeks, the aluminium prices have spiked up, but they've been fairly volatile. There have been sort of $100 swings each way, currently running at $25.50. I think that, we are sort of working with the fact that the numbers are going to be a little bit more stable around 2,400 rather than the current 2,550 or 2,600.
So there has been a steady improvement in the aluminium EBITDA per ton of the upstream business. How much higher can it move from these levels?
Absolutely. I think our input cost, especially coal cost, there's enough coal available. So I think our cost of production in Q1 is probably going to be a couple of percentage points even lower than Q4. So I think that the EBITDA per ton in Q1 will be certainly higher than the Q4 $967 per ton.
Okay, do you want to give us a range on the aluminium EBITDA per ton and what you expect going forward?
Well, I'll just tell you that it's going to be higher.
So we'll take that then. Q1 EBITDA per ton will be better than Q4. But Mr. Pai, the other surprise was the copper segment. Delivered blockbuster numbers. EBITDA coming at more than 750 crores. But what is a sustainable number we should be working with on a quarterly basis for the copper business?
So I think Q4 was a little bit exceptional for copper in many ways. The demand for copper rod was very high. If you look at it, we had a record sales of 135 KT of copper. So combined with high LME, that gives us a better margin. I think Q4 was very exceptional. But that being said, the Indian demand for copper is very high. So we think going forward, the 600 crore type of EBITDA range should become the new normal.
Okay, so 600 is more realistic and sustainable for the copper business. Got that. The Novelis EBITDA per ton, well, that's improved over the past few quarters. Could you give us a range on that front?
Unfortunately, due to the federal securities laws and the quiet period we are in for the IPO listing, I cannot be talking anything about Novelis on this call. I'm sorry about that.
All right, Mr. Pai, but at least give us a timeline on the Novelis IPO or a rough valuation. Now, some reports are suggesting 50 and 60 and $18 billion odd. Give us some kind of a number.
I cannot talk anything about the IPO listing because of the restrictions.
Understood. Can you guide us for what the capex could be for FY25?
So we spent 4,200 crores last year. Our current plan for this year is 6,000 crores. A large part of that will be the completion of the FRP project that's going on. But a number of new projects are starting, which is the battery foil, the copper recycling project. We are going to be looking at the alumina refinery in Odisha that will get off the ground this year. So I think for the next couple of years, you're going to see a 6,000 to 7,000 crore level capex going forward.
Okay, then what's the outlook on the debt levels? Steadily it's been coming down. If I look at it in the last few quarters, steadily you've been reducing the net debt levels as well. Tell us more.
So look, the point is you have to separate the two balance sheets now. And if you look at the India balance sheet, we are net debt negative. We have about 11,000 crores of treasury and we have only about 7,200 crores of long-term loans. So, and we will be generating cash. So I think that spending 7,000 crores per year on capex, just from internal accruals is completely feasible.
Mr. Pai, could you give us a debt guidance though? What does it come down to then?
Depends on how much the results of this year look like. If the LME is very good, we may even prepay further long-term loans. But currently our plan is that the long-term debt, by the way, there's nothing due for the next 2 years. It only comes in FY27. So we don't have plans to prepay debt anymore. but it will depend on how the cash generation goes.
So your business is dependent on TCRC, while Hindustan Copper is a play on LME copper prices. Since Hindustan Copper prices have zoomed, are you still interested at these valuations?
See, ultimately, any opportunity that comes will be evaluated, and if it makes sense, we'll take a look at it.
All right, Mr. Pai, thanks a lot for joining in and giving us all those details. So just to recap things, aluminium prices should stabilize at around $2,400 per ton. The aluminium EBITDA per ton will be better in the coming quarter in comparison to the past quarter. And copper, on a realistic basis or a steady state basis, should hold at around 600 crores on a quarterly basis. That compares with around 770 crores in the past quarter.